Just thinking about it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Wednesday night on this January 21st. And finally, the girlfriends are back together. Guys, I'm so sorry. I was so stinking sick. I got like some crazy super flu that's out there. Done did me in. But thank you girls so much for holding it down. It's been a wild end of the NFL season and start of the playoffs. And I'm not sure any of us are happy right now.
Well, if you look at the three logos behind us, I think it's pretty easy to tell how we feel about it.
Now we can just watch football and not stress about football. How about that? How's that for a silver lining?
That is a silver lining.
I feel like games, yes, but I feel like there's a lot happening. This is the most coaching changes in the NFL. It's tied for the most ever. So there's like 10 coaching changes. It's a wild thing out there. Beth, we'll get into your thoughts on your coaching change. I have a coaching change. Laura, I think your team is safe at the moment.
Well, for a coach, yes, but we just hired a new OC.
Yeah. So we'll chat all of those things. But first, we have a guest, ladies. Yay! So excited about this guest. So I finally joined Twitter a few years ago and was kind of terrified to get on Twitter. I didn't know what it was about, didn't know how to use it. Popped on there and learned about spaces, and I was really able to connect with 49er fans and create this beautiful community of fans that I've never met, content creators of the 49ers, and it's just been amazing. And so this is one of my favorite 49er content creators. Terradome is special. He is same age demographic as myself, so we connect on multiple levels. Not only that, but he's also a man of music, as am I. He also loves the defensive side of the ball. So do I. So you can't imagine why I'm so excited to have Terradome in the house with the girlfriends.
Oh, ladies. It is like a ladies' night at the club. Yes. Yes, I hear Cool in the Gang right now.
Hey.
It's ladies' night here. Half off, men. Half off for all the ladies. And tip your waiter. Tip your waiter.
Oh man, yes.
Love you girls. I always watch y'all, and I always add my little 2 cents in there. Y'all just have such a wonderful show. Y'all turn up with the mocktails and cocktails. And I thought of a group name for you. I don't know if y'all know. Y'all are BLC. You got Beth, Laura, and Coach Desi. Y'all BLC. Y'all digging the scene. Y'all always got it going.
We need a graphic now, Laura.
Yeah, I'm on it.
And just so y'all know,
don't go chasing waterfalls.
Oh my goodness, yes. Well, welcome. There's a lot happening, Terradome. I'm glad you're with me so we can discuss the L that we took last weekend. I'm just going to start by saying I knew it was going to go left when I'm watching the Bills game and it goes into overtime. And so our game is delayed by a hot 20 minutes. I said, I don't like this. This isn't good. I don't like this. Game
I didn't
started.
like it either. That makes you feel better.
Seahawks took the house on the kickoff. And I said, nail in the coffin, wheels are falling off. This is it. Just Sam Darnold's oblique is fine. He got tackled and fell face first and got back up. And I was like, yeah, his oblique is okay. There ain't nothing going on there.
Right.
I just wanted to share that just in case. Little tempt.
Yeah.
The rest of it was a blur.
It was over from the delay to the first opening kickoff. He's going 95, bumping his head on the goalpost. And then we get the possession. And on the first play, I looked at the autopsy video because that's what it is. I look at the all 22. And that daggone Brindle knocks Big Trent off of his block, and the guy loops around and almost tears Brock out the frame, tears his head out of the frame. It could have been a fumble. If the refs really wanted to do it, they could have said fumble. It's the other way. And it just didn't get any better. On the next possession, Ton just fumbles, and this is bad here. You know, this is when you start adjusting your head a little bit. Kyle's yelling over there at the cornerback, giving up a 2nd and 20. You know, you're supposed to drop back in that. You're supposed to sink, is what they say. Play top down. They were telling each other play top down when they're tapping their heads. They're saying it's 2nd and 20, guys. Play top down. Cover them deep, and then come up and make something. Green decides to come and bite on the cheese, and they complete the 2nd and 20. And then you're just like, well, Cancun is nice this time of year.
Oh, you forgot Christian's back. When Christian's back, you're like, well, there's our whole offense sitting right there.
That's it there. If Christian's over there grimacing and I don't something's hurting, and I'm like, oh Jesus. And I've been out on Ricky Pearsall. I am so sorry, y'all. The first game when Ricky P called sick, it's like one of my employees calling sick 2 hours before shift. No, Rick, I'm done, man. I'm it. That's it. I know you got shot. You know, but no. You need to find another place of employment. So they say he's going to play. And did he have was he even out there? He's on a milk box. He's on a milk box waiting to with like little Joey. And it just got bad. And they were a better team. Everybody knows, you know, they had better personnel. They were healthier. They were waiting on us. And you think that with a good team, because you get that 2-week bye, you think it might be rust. Their timing might be off a little bit. But here's an important thing and a lesson learned. They're off for a week, and they can watch you against your opponent in the wild card weekend. So anything that they were missing, they had an opportunity to see you go full game and go and lose a George Kittle and know, yep, we got it.
And they were home.
Exactly what we're doing. And
that was a very loud stadium. So that's it. We're just going to leave that right there. I will say hats off to the 49ers. Like, we got so much further than you ever would have expected. Yes. You made us all proud. The faithful are so proud. We're going to hang that head high. We're going to keep that chin up, and we're going to be ready to go.
Yeah, that's all you can do. And then, but here's a little caveat, Coach and Beth and Laura. 72 hours later, I'm watching Indiana beat my Miami Hurricanes national championship. So, you know, for all the people who are in the chat, I see Dion, Red Jet, all my 49ers media, all y'all got. I know I was supposed to be on Tuesday morning, but I'm not getting out of bed. I had 2 funerals in 2 days, 2 funerals in 3 days. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I haven't spoken with my wife. God bless her. So it's just been rough. It's just hurt so bad.
Well, while we're in our feels, Beth, this might be the time to cue up the game that happened before the 49ers, which was the Broncos-Bills game. And so I'm going to let you, are you ready? Can you?
I mean, it is what it is, right? So what I have come to realize is that Buffalo is famous at losing in the most controversial way every single time in the playoffs. There's going to be a new rule, guys. Next year, there will be a new rule about what is considered a catch and what is considered a fumble and what is considered an interception. Because I can't do it again. Guys, Buffalo. It's so painful to watch. It would be Desi and Terradome, I know it's hard to watch your team like flail and just drowned. I would much prefer that than what we went through. I can't. I'm so sick and tired of us getting so close. And then were there plenty of reasons why we should have lost? Absolutely. Absolutely. It is not on that one play by no means. But if we could stop having one play be the last thing we see to make that decision, it would really help Bills fans.
Greg was at one point
saying, I can't talk about the game. That's all I have to say about it.
Well, I'll tell you, at one point, Greg was like, okay, so they just need to kick the field goal at one point. And I was like, oh, Bills Mafia does not want.
Oh, Lord. Don't put a field goal out there. Talking to the Bills fans. No. So
as long as they didn't have a chance to just all the things, man. All the things.
I experienced both in the 72-hour period. We were in it till the end.
Yeah.
And they're both heartbreaking either way. Just to come close and lose it on a bad pace, or just to get blown out and start hey, anybody got the new party chips?
I know it's part of the Bills way, but man, it is not a tradition I like.
Right. Well, and it was hard to watch toward the end because the refs had been kind of leaving everything alone. They weren't calling a lot of crazy penalties until the very end. And
when it's hard to pull off, right? That's when the referees should let people play a little more. And it turned into, I don't want to blame it on the refs. There were plenty of things that we did wrong. Lots of turnovers that weren't necessary and could have been avoided. But damn, it didn't help.
I want you to know that there is a Bills fan here for you, Beth. Buffalo Barb. She said announcers brought up field goals earlier in the game. I had to turn the sound off. So
I didn't listen much to the commentators. I can't listen to them.
That's the other thing, Terra Dome. Not only did our game go way left, but it was freaking Tom Brady. I had to listen to.
And whenever Tom show up, he's my favorite. He's the GOAT. I got his book behind me, man. But whenever he's commentating a 49ers game, it's just janky. He's our cooler. I don't know what that is, but whenever he's commentating, I was hoping the curse was broken because he was commentating when we beat the Eagles the week before. I was like, well, maybe it's over. The sun will come out. It's okay. Nah. Tom's like, wow, look at that. That's the first kickoff of the game.
But you know what's crazy about your game, Beth, is it ended. I really wanted to leave our chat alone for multiple reasons. But then I was like, holy cow, I was on Twitter and I'm seeing the feed talk about how Bo Nix fractured his ankle and he's out for the season. And I texted and Laura was like, no way. I'm like, bro, I verified this. This is legit. Like, it's everywhere. And I was like, that sucks because the Bills lost to a team that's now not going to go to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it was
Beth also didn't comment at all, I don't think, on that until like
I'm pretty sure I went straight to bed. I did not watch your game, Desi. I went straight to bed.
I didn't watch my game. Are you kidding me? My eyes closed half the time.
No, I woke up to those texts and I was like, oh, even better. Our loss and now New England's going to the Super Bowl. Great. That's exactly what I wanted.
Yep.
Lots of things could happen. I'm holding out hope. You never know.
I sure hope you're right, Laura.
Not a foregone conclusion. Who knows? This
Maybe
Unless
there's
Jared Stidham is going to have the the game of his life.
yeah. Hey,
the number of injuries that have been going on, who knows, right? Like
Ooh.
Drake May's not going to be, I'm not wishing an injury. I'm going to take that back. Not wishing an injury on anybody. I'm just saying, if Bo Nix can break his ankle on the last play of a football game or in the locker room celebrating the game.
But that's
Somebody
also
else can get it.
questionable. There's rumors that he did it in the locker room post celebration, like as like a celebration.
I've heard that too.
The plot.
Because he wasn't acting injured walking off that field. There was nothing wrong with him when he was walking off that field.
I watched
has required
the
surgery.
plays over and over and over again, and I'm having a hard time seeing where there was at any point enough force to fracture an ankle. Not
And
that it couldn't have
These are
happened.
medical professionals we're talking to, ladies and gentlemen.
And you're
All of
also,
y'all from my audience, these folks know about some injuries. Just saying. Giving
Which
you-
we're going to get into here. So my Niners fans, we're going to talk about Kittle here in just a bit. But yes, Red Jet Shell says, I was hoping for Buffalo, San Francisco in the Super Bowl. Wow, what a story that would have been. I have been wanting this since I was a kid. Since
Chris
said it.
Berman. Every year, Chris Berman said, the Bills will circle the wagon. Buffalo and San Francisco in the Super Bowl.
And that's what I said to Beth. I literally was like, well, Beth, next year's our year. Like, there is no us not going without the Bills going in my mind. So,
maybe that's why you guys lost. Thank you.
yes.
So that wouldn't happen without us.
That's right. So next,
Please don't hang your hat on the Bills making it to the Super Bowl.
listen, I would love nothing more. Like, can you imagine that? That kind of like we would be there. Like we would anyway. Two other games happened. The Texans and the Patriots. Oh, I can't even talk about this one either. I wanted so much for D'Amico Ryans. I thought the defense was stellar. And I mean, Stroud just laid an egg. I mean, they were just pressure. And it was tough weather. Patriots, they annihilated them 28-16. I know Beth is not a fan. Bills folks are not fans of Patriots. Most of us are tired of Patriots in the Super Bowl. That's all I got to say about that.
CJ Stroud showed that he is not who we thought he could be.
Right. Yeah.
In many respects. I mean, that man sat in that pocket like he was in a lounge chair at the beach already. Like
that's what you kept texting.
From that little itty bitty space. By the time he started to try and rush or tried to scramble, the game was over. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, CJ ain't quite got it. I'm gonna tell you, I went 0 for 5 this weekend, y'all, because I was pulling for D'Amico's our guy, and their defense is incredible. I figured they could do something against the rookie, but I didn't account for CJ just kind of reverting back to the old why we don't get Ohio State quarterbacks guy. And there it is.
Well, then there was the Rams and the Bears. And I'm like you, Terradome. I think I went 0 for 4, and I didn't put anything in on the college game, but I'm for sure. I think I was 0 for 4.
Yeah, I know the Bears would lay Durham. Well, first of all, I looked at that weather report, and shout out to everybody in the continental United States. You're going to experience some weather coming up real soon. I got to get back on emergency services in the next couple of days. But when I looked at Chicago like the night before, and that hawk was whipping, I was like, man, LA boys, it's going to be different up there. It's going to be different. That is not SoFi.
Although you say that, but Stafford was on the Lions, and he played at Soldier Field every year, twice a year.
I didn't count that in the equation. I missed that on my work.
Yeah, but arthritis flares up in the cold weather. So,
And did he wear the scuba suit and the cayenne pepper in his shoes when he was in Detroit as well, or was that just something that came once he moved?
I think that was once his blood thinned and he got older and less used to the
cayenne
cold.
pepper in there. Yeah,
who knew? I mean, I'm from Buffalo and I haven't heard that. I mean, it might be a thing, but I had never heard that until
Dan Marino said that years ago. He said, put some cayenne pepper in your socks and that'll help. And it's all types of stuff you do.
Because he learned that in Miami.
Yeah. Well, he was a Pennsylvania guy before then. He comes from Western Pennsylvania, where great quarterbacks come from.
That's true.
But he knew.
All right.
You know.
Well, we've got some coaching changes. We're going to run through some, and then I'm going to give Beth full floor to be able to talk her talk. So John Harbaugh, officially with the New York Giants, multi-year deal as he replaces Brian Daboll there. Kevin Stefanski goes to the Falcons. Yeah. So let's see. Jeff Hafley is going to the Dolphins. I think
Jeff Hadley. Where's Jeff Hadley coming from?
He was the defensive coordinator for the Packers. And he just got to the Packers. I mean, he did.
Okay.
Turn it around a little, but I don't know that he's put in enough to. Anyway.
Yeah.
Robert, of course, we're losing Saleh, my man. He's leaving us again for the Titans. What? Mm-hmm. Okay. He's going to be in Tennessee.
Praying for him.
Yeah. Anyway, and then we finally get to Sean McDermott. This is what's crazy. So I'm going to tell you this first. I'm going to give you the full floor. Greg all weekend kept saying, Greg, for those of you who don't know, my husband is Greg. He is a Ravens fan. Harbaugh left the Ravens. He doesn't think that was the right call. He's like, it is what it is. He doesn't believe in Lamar. That's a whole different discussion. But so he's been very intrigued at where Harbaugh is going to land. I said, it looks like it's going to be the Giants up until that point. This is pre-49ers game. He said, I said, he still hasn't signed formally. And he said, okay, well, after the Bills game, he signs officially with the Giants. Because Greg kept saying, he's like, if McDermott gets fired, if the Bills lose and McDermott gets fired, he's like, Harbaugh's going to Buffalo. Obviously, that didn't happen. Harbaugh signed with the Giants, and I saw all the memes afterward. The best one was Larry David making that face of after, Harbaugh's, knowing that he could have gone and coached for the Bills, but already signed with the Giants. So give us all the things. You are the spokesperson for all of Bills Mafia right now. Tell us how you feel with the absence of Sean McDermott.
The Mafia has raised $50,000 for the Skin Cancer Foundation that Sean McDermott supports. That is how the Mafia feels.
Wow. We're
angry. I wouldn't say that we're all surprised, right? And Desi and Laura, we've talked about this earlier in the season, early on, right? If a Super Bowl didn't happen this year, heads were eventually going to roll. The issue in Buffalo is that not only did Sean McDermott lose his job, but Brandon Beane, the GM, is now the president of football operations in Buffalo. So not both lost their job, just one. And many could say that the reason why Sean McDermott could not play his game and we could not get to a Super Bowl is because of the signings and the work that Brandon Beane has done over the last few years. That's pretty much what everybody in Buffalo is thinking. I have yet to see someone happy about Sean McDermott being fired. He is the heart and soul of Buffalo. He has embodied us. He has brought us out of the drought of 17 years of no playoffs. He took us there the first time with Tyrod Taylor. He has rebuilt this from the ground up. It hurts. This hurts so much more than losing in the playoffs.
Wow.
And then there was a press conference today. And then there was a press conference. And Pegula, our owner, and Brandon Bean both sat there, threw Josh Allen under the bus, threw Keon Coleman under the bus. God bless. Like,
Wow.
I get he's had a rough year. I get he's not what we may have wanted. He is still on our roster. He's still a player on our team. But here we are saying, oh, we didn't want him. The coach wanted him. That's the only reason why he got signed, is because the coaching staff wanted him. We just played along. The owner walked into the stadium. It was so two-sided. He's like, I walked in to the locker room after that game, and Josh Allen was sobbing and everybody was crying. And I decided right then and there we had to fire him. But if there was a catch, he wouldn't have been fired. So we're going to make a franchise decision off of an emotional moment. I'm over it.
But
Terrible.
Beth, share with them what you said to me on the phone, because people don't realize what Sean McDermott has been through with you, with the Mafia, with the city of Buffalo. Walk them through not just that they brought you out of the drought of 17 years and took you to the playoffs. Talk about what he means to that city.
Right. So you need to sit here and look at what the last few years in Buffalo have been. Right. We have made it to the playoffs. We have had great seasons. We've had heartbreaking losses. But when you look at the community of Buffalo, he walked our entire team through DeMar Hamlin and almost dying on the field.
True.
He brought everybody out of that spot and still had a good season, right? We didn't lose players. He kept everybody on the right track. We had that mass shooting in the Buffalo supermarket, which he then rallied around and kept the team on its feet, right? Like, this guy is part of the network of what Buffalo has become over the last 9 years, right? Like, he is truly integral into the culture and family and camaraderie of Buffalo football. You have now just taken the part that created that community out. These players that have left Buffalo and come back on a shorter contract, or for 1 year here or 1 year there, players don't do that for every team. Players don't show back up unless they trust the people who are in charge. And with Sean McDermott in charge, players wanted to show back up. And I don't know what our roster will look like next year without him, because what they just said is that we're going to throw players under the bus if we have to. We're going to throw the coach under the bus if we have to. That, like, Josh Allen still hasn't released a statement. He was no part of the decision. He had no idea. The team didn't know. They did their walkthrough at the end of the season. The end of the season walkthrough on Sunday. Monday is when he was released. So the team didn't find out until they saw it on social media.
Yeah.
Oof.
That is rough.
I love that, Beth. Thank you for speaking on behalf of all of Bill's Mafia. I think you did it spectacularly. So, and I don't know, honestly, especially now that Harbaugh is already tied up with the Giants, I don't know who could come into Buffalo and do a better job.
And the only thing that would have made me feel better about it is if they had a game plan. But they have no game plan. And they made it very clear that they're like, we're open to anybody showing up and trying out for this position. So
Right.
suit up and interview, because we're looking apparently, and they're open to talking to anybody.
I'm hearing Bill Belichick.
No.
Absolutely not.
I was going to say, that's not going to fly too well.
just hear word on the street, they might be looking at Bill Belichick. That's
I've heard Brian Daboll.
Okay.
I've heard that.
There's been a couple other names around. None of them really make me excited, but
Well, there is something that Buffalo Barb is saying here. She said that, or he, I'm not sure. Sorry. With every purchase, you donate $8 to the Skin Cancer Foundation. So
They've got a T-shirt. It's up a
The
little bit higher.
T-shirt.
and here it says,
Sorry, that's my fault.
Special edition. Thank you, Coach McDermott T-shirts are being sold.
Oh, cool, man.
So you can get those
Class.
T-shirts, and $8 will go to the Skin Cancer Foundation. So any of my Buffalo Bills fans out there, or fans of the team, I mean, listen, I'm a Niners fan, but the Bills have always been one of my favorite AFC teams. So that's how you can support Coach McDermott and Bills Mafia's bleeding heart right now. So. All right, so let's get into some other things here. We got Terror Dome in the house. What's up?
Terror Dome in the hizzle.
He's
Try
in
bring
the
it up a little
house.
bit. Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, he is the Girlfriends of Football designated DJ. And so we have a spectacular segment called Rate the Fit. And that's where each week we pick players' outfits that are just, they vibing, they've got a good fit. And we put it out there on our social media. Everybody gets to vote on who they think had the best fit. And so this is all the best fits from the regular season. So without further ado, we're going to hit into Rate the Fit. Now, the cool thing is with this edition, Terror Dome has keyed up. Each fit is now going to have a theme song that was played, that Terror Dome has specifically picked out for that fit. Are you ready, Terror Dome?
I am.
All right.
I obviously can't play them because of YouTube contractual. They're going to hunt us down and be the ops. But this is the song that these young men were hearing as they were coming to the stadium, as they were entering into the locker room. This was their soundtrack.
Hey, and we should make a playlist, a Spotify playlist. Put it out there in the public.
Put it out there. Yeah, that.
Oh,
you know, what are you thinking, Laura? See you the
go,
L
Laura.
and DLC. Hey.
Go, Laura. Okay, here we go.
First one was Matt the Cat Stafford coming in. He's stable. He's older. He's reserved. He needed a song that said "Buy Dirt" by Jordan Davis featuring Luke Davis. It's a wonderful country song where he's giving the game to a young man. Buy dirt. Don't run around here messing up your stuff and stuff. I got all this money. Buy dirt, son. Buy dirt. Yeah, that's a good one for him. Next item up for bids. Bills Mafia. Bills Mafia. With this one, with Ray Davis, he was representing. He came with the hat. He came with the jacket. He came with the colors. The old, you got the AFC conference patch on that one. Y'all have a song up there by Benny the Butcher and Buffalo Bills. Is called Bills Mafia Anthem. This is what he was hearing. That is the best of the. I listened to all of those Buffalo songs. That Benny the Butcher is nice. Incredible beat, incredible vibe. Would you agree, Beth? I tried to do you right.
Yes. No, I'm actually really surprised that you found one for it. I appreciate that, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
By the way, while we're on it, or while we're talking about it, Big Brick 84 just said Mike Tomlin to Buffalo is actually a decent idea.
Tomlin with a man with presence.
Kind of like it.
If he wants to come out of retirement or whatever he's doing, we'll take him. He would be a good one.
All right, moving right along. We got CMC.
CMC stepped to this thing all business. For those of you who haven't seen the show, Peaky Blinders has a song coming on, and those guys were straight up mafia guys, but they were clean and excellent. They were all about business and will shoot you just to look at you. It is a song by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. It's called Red Right Hand, the theme to Peaky Blinders. Check that song out.
A great song.
You like that one?
I love that one.
It just come a dun 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 dun. They were bad. I love Peaky Blinders.
All right, next up, Marcus Mariota's. He got called up off the bench.
Marcus Mariota getting called up this weekend. It summoned everything about coming up in life, about going the hard way with it. He's a former Heisman Trophy guy. He came clean. He came with it was like a Spanish look about him. And the song you got to have for Marcus Mariota is Ecstasy of Gold by L'Estacio del Oro Bandini remix. It is the theme you hear on those Modelo commercials. That
Love that.
Yeah, with that good and the bad, the ugly soundtrack, that's what he was feeling that time. Modelo.
I love it.
I don't know if y'all are familiar with the series Power on Stars, produced by 50 Cent. They had a character on Power named Ghost. And when that song would come on, it would say, they say this is a big rich town. Dun, dun, dun. I just come from the poorest part. And then 50 drops a beat in there, man. And he raps this thing. Go to the theme of Power. It is 50 Cent. A big rich town. That's what he was feeling there, looking like ghosts.
Love it. This is another Niner fan. This is okay. I gotta admit this one. I'll admit I did not post this one out there. I was seriously sick and I didn't get to post the fits for that week, but I did post this picture on Twitter pre-game. It's before we played the Bears, and I literally said, "Holy cow! Looking at Juice, we win by whatever I said. I said we definitely winning, and with a Kyle Juszczyk touchdown, and he got a tutty in that game. Like, no way this man shows up looking like that without getting a tutty. So
and we are so simpatico. This one is a song by Post Malone featuring Morgan Walker. I had some help. I had some help because it's Juice, and he had that help to get there. And he's normally the help guy. So that Post Malone, I had some help. That's what Juice was feeling that day.
Man, unsung hero. Love that guy.
This dude, Devontae Smith, showed up, man. And I'm a devout religious man. I've been saved for a number of years, ordained. When I saw God's mercy is bigger than your mistake, he is sending out a clairvoyant message that only Hezekiah Walker could bring it all together. There's a song called Every Praise. Every praise is to our God. Everyone of worship with one accord. He was hearing every praise on there. It is a religious flash mob song. If y'all want to really hear something and be impressed, every praise is what this young man was hearing.
I love it. You know what? You're not only were you a football player, it sounds like you have literally the voice of a potential singer here, Tara.
Well, yeah, I do a little something. I can hold a note with a pair of pliers. All right.
Oh, I gotta see what this one is. Myles Garrett was smooth.
Man, he was this the one where he goes and breaks the record?
No. This was earlier in the season, though.
This is early in the season, and he was on a blistering pace. He came in there. The fit was nice. He's got his headphones on. Ladies and gentlemen, if that man won't hearing Aloe Black, I'm the man. I'm the man. The defensive player of the year coming in there breaking the sack record. The fit is nice. The headphones on. You can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man. I'm the man. Yeah.
And he definitely could say it, man. He had a year.
Yeah, he the man. All right. This is my man right here. This is
everybody's dude. Man.
We all love him.
This is my dude. The glasses, the sweater, the watch, I think that's Louboutin bag, the slacks. He's got an uncle appeal. This is something I would wear. And I'm gonna tell you right now, don't keep your girl around me. True player for real. He was hearing "You Ain't Gotta Call" Usher as he was walking to that stadium. Boy, if y'all don't know, you don't have to call. He's got some background dancers back there. I know it.
If any player does have background dancers, it's Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't keep your girl around me. All right. This was a little bit of a pink fit. So he's trying to give some femininity to things a little bit. Linebacker. All right.
This was for breast cancer. So he was wearing the pink because it was breast cancer month.
And you know, I got Shabusi bar song on this one.
Love it.
You trying to just go in there, man, and just have a little bit of looseness with it and show that you representing. And hey, ladies, I'm on your side. That's the bar song, Shabusi.
Love that. Also, this was like the same. Was it the same week, Laura, that MTV did its last had its last program and they shut down? So that's the MTV shirt I think he had on, right?
I'm not certain.
Can't remember. I know somebody had it on. I think that's what it is. All right, carry on. Daniel
Okay.
Bellinger.
With this one, he's seemingly dressed down, and he's got the hat on. I thought it said TCU, but it's TEU. But there's a song that I just absolutely love. It's called Fancy Like. When you take your girl out and the lyrics go something like fancy like Applebee's on a Sunday. That the fancy like is what hit me there by Walker Hayes. Fancy like. It's kind of a Texas thing because he's
Nailed it.
And he's, you know, it's fancy like.
Well, if that's what that one is, I can't wait to see what this one. Taysom Hill with
right
cowboy
here,
hat.
Let me tell you, when you come in there like a Texas man, when you come in there real smooth like that, I'm thinking with everything, this is where's the song? Right there. Lupe Fiasco. You a superstar. You a superstar. You coming in there, you just superstar in that thing. You just superstar. You coming in there, hey, this is me. I'm a superstar.
I will have to disagree. I think this one's got to be a George Strait. It's the black hat. Can't go wrong.
Got you. You ain't wrong right there. I love the big black hat. It just says I'm the villain. I don't care. And I'm gonna show the belt buckle just kills it. Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Best Josh Allen.
That's Josh Allen. Now, going back to the superstar theme, Tank has a song called You're a Star. And he is the star. He's the preeminent favorite to go to the Super Bowl, the preeminent favorite to be the MVP. He's everything for Buffalo. So that you're a star. That's it. And when you step in, it just says down.
Yes.
Yeah, he is a star. We did this one week. I forgot the week, but JSN is ready for the yacht after this one.
Yes.
When you hit that yacht, there's only one song you want to hear, and that is Sade, Cherish the Day. When that guitar hits that doom, 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 yeah, he ready to hit the yacht after this one. And I don't know if the young man married, but this is a good weekend getaway. Impressed her with the yacht.
That's funny. Somebody also said for back on Taysom Hill, they said all my exes live in Texas.
All my exes live in Texas. Now, this was a big song here. It had to have something with some grandiose, because he's a big guy, you know, and it had to have some theme. Y'all might not know this one. It is where's my song at? Where's my song at? It is the theme from a movie. Dang. Oh, what's the name of that movie? It's an office theme movie that I saw, and I didn't write it down. Dang it, I just had it in my mind. Get back to him. Go back around, and I'm gonna get back to him. All right, this was 100% without a doubt. He's hearing Return of the Mac as he comes in there.
Yes.
His return. The collar is clean. He's got a St. Andrew's tie. He's got the double-breasted on. The logo on the side, the pin with the logo on the side. Excellent pocket square. Coming with a little bit of pink on there to let the ladies know, hey, yeah, you know, I'm cool. But that Return of the Mac, you coming back into a stadium and you letting them know, hey, what I tell you, like I know. That's right. yeah.
Well, and his pin is his own initials, which I think was just chef's kiss.
You gotta come up in there, right? You it's Return of the Mac. I'm letting y'all know I'm here.
That's Laura's man. You ready? You agree with that one, Laura?
Oh yeah, I'm done with that.
All right. JSN back in the mix.
Now JSN took a little bit of the one prior to with the black hat, so I had to go with a Texas theme on this one. Beyonce, Texas Hold'em.
Nice.
As he's stepping on, this ain't Texas. We don't hold them. Yeah, he came with that a little bit on that one. I like that little Texas theme. He's playing in Arizona that day, so it's a Western kind of feel, but he's staying cool with it. And that's, you know, Beyonce, kind of ambidextrous with the style, can flow in and out. That Texas Hold'em was where you wanted to go with that.
Love it. Well, that was our last one. We'll circle back in case this pops into your head again.
I can't remember what I had for it. Was a big song from an Office movie. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it Night at the Roxbury, because I can't think of that song from that Office movie that I saw. It's in Boiler Room. It was they had a movie years ago called Boiler Room with Giancarlo Ribisi and Vin Diesel, and they had a song in there, but I can't quite picture it in my mind. So I'll just give it a Night at the Roxbury on there, because he's like ready for the club. What is love? Don't hurt me.
Well done, DJ Terradome. And we're going to throw these back up into our social media so you guys can vote to see who you thought was the #1 best fit of the regular season. And we'd love to hear from you. So we'll reveal that in the upcoming pods coming up. We'll tell you who won the best fit of the year. Now, for all my Niner fans out there, we are going to chat a little bit real quick because we're coming towards the end of the hour. We're going to be chatting about George Kittle. It was a heartbreaker. Playing against the Eagles, he goes out with an Achilles tear.
Yeah.
Never love to see that. We already have enough trauma from watching Dre Greenlaw tear his in the Super Bowl. And now here we are in the postseason with George Kittle. It was a heartbreaker. We've had a tortuous season already with injuries. But he did come out and he already had surgery. And he was interviewed. He was interviewed saying that the orthopedic surgeon had said that the tear was more proximal than distal, and there's a better blood supply there so that it was more optimal. He should be good to go for healing up. And so we're going to talk about that real quick. So I myself, for those who don't know, I'm a physician assistant. I've been practicing for almost a quarter century. Yes, I'm older than probably my haircut shows. And Beth is a doctor of physical therapy. So we have who has equally as many years in practice. So we both know a little bit about some medicine and anatomy and physiology. So if you look on the screen, if you're watching, we have a picture of an ankle joint showing the Achilles tendon, which is the tendon that comes off the calf muscle in the back of the leg, of the lower leg, and attaches to the heel. It is our sole reason for being able to plantar flex our foot, push our foot down to rise up on our toes. And you can tear kind of closer to the heel, which is what they call a distal tear, or closer up to the calf muscle, which is more of a proximal tear. And that's probably where George Kittle, somewhere around there, that's where he tore his Achilles. Now, I looked up several different studies, and classically, the more proximal tears are a little bit more functionally impaired after healing. And medicine advances, you guys, and we already have a quarterback that underwent a UCL repair with something called a internal brace, which is a new type of, it's like a special suture, if you will, a braided suture that you can kind of weave within the soft tissue to reinforce the repair. So this has changed the world of orthopedics. It has changed the world for athletes because it allows a much stronger repair, less chance of re-rupture, and better rehab process. I don't know for sure that George Kittle had an internal brace with this repair, but it is possible. And so I want to talk about, if he did have an internal brace, what does that mean for George? What does that mean as 49er fans? And it means that we could definitely have our tight end back in the roundup for this upcoming season. Maybe not the start of the season, but a classic Achilles tear prior to all of the advances in medicine could have taken him for sure a solid year to bounce back. When Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles tendon, he kept talking about, I'm coming back. And everybody was like, it's only 6 months. But there are reasons why athletes maybe can come back sooner, especially nowadays. And it may be because of this internal brace. So I'm going to just, now that I've kind of talked about internal bracing, that it can reinforce the repair, can make things better, reduce the chances of re-rupture, I'm going to pass this over to Beth, who is, like I said, a doctorate of physical therapy. And she's going to discuss what that means if he did have an internal brace repair. What does that mean for rehab? And ultimately, what does this mean for the season coming up for the 49ers?
Yeah. So what I want to preface this by, it's phenomenal how much less invasive these surgeries can be depending on where the injury is and how quickly the rehab process can start. Now, it's pretty amazing. A standard Achilles tendon repair, you are non-weight bearing for many weeks. You are only passive range of motion for 6 weeks. You are not walking until almost 3 months. Okay. We are talking about, you're not able to do ballistic movements. So that running, that jumping, plyometric activity, to start training in those things for 5 or 6 months. So you are just getting to the point of where you can do things in 6 months. Okay. So that is with a standard repair. That's what our parents would have had. That's what athletes had in the past, right? And they are still doing this surgery today. It just is a much longer rehab process. Non-weight bearing and preventing movement is what has always been standard in order to prevent stretching that tendon, preventing it from tearing off the bone, keeping you from re-injuring or re-aggravating or tearing it again. So that is your standard. It's always been immobilize, hold steady, slight passive range of motion. What we are seeing now with a bridge. So there's a bridge, and then Desi also shared with me information about a jigless repair, which is similar, but it's basically like tying up a shoelace, right? Which is even less invasive than your bridge surgery. When we start talking about the bridge surgery, which is what Aaron Rodgers had, we are looking at non-weight bearing for maybe 2 weeks. Okay.
Oh.
So we go from 6 weeks of non-weight bearing to 2 weeks of non-weight bearing in a boot. Your weight bearing is tolerated at 2 weeks, and you're training and walking barefoot by 4 weeks as tolerated. And then you are doing things such as swimming, cross training, exercise within 6 weeks. By 12 weeks, you're fully able to weight bear and full loading, range of motion, and you're jogging by 4 months. So where before it was, mind you, 6 months, you're now at 4 months with your bridge surgery. Okay, so that's what possibly, which we know Aaron Rodgers had and might be happening here. When we go to this next surgery, it's a jigless repair. It literally, what it looks like, it's all dependent upon where the injury is and if you're a candidate for it. But it's even less invasive than the other 2 surgeries. You're looking at 2 small dots, and it really looks like you're sewing it up. It looks like a shoelace, right? So it's a string that pulls through, pulls the muscle down, reattaches it at the base. You've got like 2 small holes and a tiny incision. It's so small. So your healing process is even faster than that. They allow weight bearing and walking right away. There is no immobilization from day 1.
Wow.
Allowing movement that early puts you in the optimal spot to have blood flow increase, have increased movement, you decrease scar tissue, you have all of those pieces that come from immobilization are taken away. They are looking at 6 weeks, people are able to tolerate mild exercise. So that's walking, possible jogging, swimming, cross training, things like that at a lower level. But at 6 weeks, we're talking almost 2 months. And these guys are back to doing activity where with a traditional surgery, you're not doing it for 6 months. You're not even weight bearing yet.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing. He made mention to Richard Sherman in reference to he didn't have to get the screw. And can you elaborate a little bit more on that? What's the difference in him not having to get the screw put in versus not? Because I think Richard Sherman had to have some follow-on surgeries to clean up some things because the screw gave him discomfort. Could you speak to that?
Yeah, so that's with the distal tear. So if you look at the picture, the arrow that's closer to the bottom, when you have a tear that's closer to what's called the calcaneus, the heel bone, you have to reattach it. So when you reattach it, you anchor it with a screw in the heel bone. And so that can cause some problems anytime you have hardware in there. So that's what he's speaking to there is the screw that goes in to anchor the tear back to the heel bone.
Okay. And he didn't have to have it. So we're looking at that's obviously better news or more a positive outlook on diagnosis and prognosis, I'd imagine.
The less you put in, the less options you have for infection, for rejection, for having to go back in, clean things out. So if you're able to not add additional things into it, the smaller the incision and the fewer things you have to add in, the faster you're going to recover.
Yeah. Someone asked here what's the difference between proximal and distal? So it's just location. So proximal means that it's closer to
middle
center. Yeah, closer to the center, and distal means further away from the body. So the heel bone is more distal to the knee joint, or the knee joint is proximal to the heel. So it's just that's kind of the answer there. So best wishes for George Kittle. He's the people's tight end. He is the absolute personality of our offense and pretty much our whole team. You love George Kittle. He is tight end university royalty. So we wish him the best. I will say just, we got to keep our expectations for this. He may come back, but he may not be full George Kittle until next year. Doesn't mean he still won't be very productive. He might be like 90% of George Kittle. He might be 80% of George Kittle, which is still better than half the tight ends in the NFL. But we might not see full Kittle till next year.
85% of Kittle is better than 70%, 100% of the times.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to comment on as well, because you look at all of these players that come back after an ACL repair or a Achilles. That first year is still despite the fact that you're back, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're back full force. And it does
Yeah.
take another season to get you fully back to where you want to be. So we talk about how quickly this healing happens. We talk about how fast we can return to sport. But to return to sport to the same level and the same caliber does take a significant amount of time, regardless of the amount of actual healing time after an injury.
No,
Yeah.
no, why I got you wonderful ladies, and they so elegant. They play so beautiful. Don't you agree? Y'all clapping the give some hand claps for these ladies here. There's the big story going around, and I've nicknamed it Substation Zero. What is your take on this substation sucking the life with what's it called? Electromagnetic waves, messing up the San Francisco 49ers, who roughly average 6 times the amount of injuries since 2016 that the average NFL team suffers. We're talking about recovery here and surgeries there. Is this something that needs to be looked into terms of I'm hearing it breaks down collagen. Y'all give me y'all expert analysis and opinions on, is this real or hoo-hush?
Beth, have you seen? I don't think Beth knows about this.
I heard briefly. I think we shared a quick story about
did I share it?
I think it's really interesting. I think it might just be situational and an interesting tidbit. I don't know if it's necessarily accurate, but I wouldn't say that it doesn't have an effect, right? So, I mean, we use ultrasound and electrical stimulation for lots of different healing processes, for lots of different things. I can absolutely see how there could be an effect on collagen and strength and tension, especially at the level that these guys train at. Desi, your opinion?
Whew.
I ain't mean to corner you, babe.
No, but it's there's so many things that can go into it, and it's age of player, it's nutrition, it's strength and conditioning, it's are they recovering the right way and fully? Do they have their own people? I mean, you look at Christian McCaffrey, Niners fans, Christian McCaffrey, last year, this man's Achilles, both legs, bilateral, we call it, bilateral Achilles, was not looking good. Literally, I was like, homeboy is going to pop an Achilles. And he came back and had more touches than anybody else in the NFL this season, and lived every single game all the way through into the postseason before his back took him out. We haven't heard a peep about his Achilles, right? So how does a man like that go from bilateral Achilles tendonitis? I don't know, Beth. I've never heard of somebody having bilateral Achilles tendonitis and then turning around and having a productive year like he had this year.
It's true.
So if you go from that to that, what changed? I understand he changed up the people that were around him training him, is kind of what I heard. There were some things that he was doing differently, being better about recovery, being better about like, hey, coach, I got to tap out a play and then pop me back in. He honored that better, right? So and he's someone who's very meticulous about his body. So I think if anybody was going to be at risk of being injured this year, for sure, it would have been him. And so he's my outlier. So is there something to it? Maybe. But I think we're not behind the scenes. We don't see what each player is doing to maintain their body, maintain their health, and do the things that need to be done to make sure they stay optimal. This is a violent sport. I mean, literally, this is like trauma level injuries. Oh, yeah. So, and we're a violent team. We typically work hard, we're gritty. So I think I think there's multiple things at play, and it may be something that's at play, maybe at like 5%, 2%. I would not say that it's like 50% of the reason why
they don't need to move their training room, is what you're saying.
Maybe get a new facility or something, or
just like wrap it in tinfoil.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, we don't want to be that team. The little boy with the tinfoil substation
Oh.
next.
But you know,
Make
sometimes
fun of it.
sometimes we don't know what we don't know until we know it. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but truly,
True.
right? Like that's an area of medicine that's not very well explored. So there could very well be something to it, but
There's an interesting connection, and I think it's worth researching more.
Okay.
Dr. Beth said it perfectly.
Great statement. Great statement.
So, Laura, I'm going to give you the floor for a sec because, I mean, we've gotten into a lot of discussions about the playoffs, a lot of discussions about these injuries. So I want to give you the floor. What's going on with your Lions? Give us an update.
Well, we, of course, had fired our offensive coordinator, John Morton, because, well, he was clearly terrible. And so that wasn't working. But we just hired a guy whose name I can't quite remember at this moment. But he kind of looks like Megamind, so we'll take him. And he was from the Arizona Cardinals. He was their OC. So he's come over to our regime, and we'll kind of see what happens, right? Like, there's a lot of rumors about that Sheila Ford Hamp wanted to cut costs, but I don't think that she's that kind of owner. I really don't. So I don't think it was that we just hire whoever because we don't want to pay anybody. I think they actually looked at what he was good at. He does a lot of he relies a lot on tight ends, which will be interesting because as of right now, we don't have any. So let's see what happens. I mean, Laporta might come back, and there's some things. Yeah. Long story short, we don't know. But the Lions say that you know the office and the coaching staff say that, and the players say that this is going to be our year. We're going to come back better, bigger, stronger than we've been before. And I still believe we can do it. I mean, we only missed the playoffs this year by one play, like literally one play. So, yeah, I think we still have a good shot. And, you know, like a lot of teams this year who didn't quite make it, next year, it'll probably be the reckoning if we don't. But I think we've got a shot. And we always have to keep in mind there are 32 teams and only one of them wins the Super Bowl. So we can't all go. It's not possible.
Very good.
So,
and speaking of which, so back into the playoff discussion, we didn't go over
El
mocktails.
Desi, you did so good at making the drinks earlier in the segment when you weren't here. I need to look how little is left.
Yeah, we would have a full glass.
Like,
oh, they turn up, ladies and gentlemen. They turn up around here.
not an hour again. Here.
Have at it.
All right, so this is the AFC cocktail. We are in the championship round, and this gives you your 4 horsemen, right? So this is bourbon, rye, apple brandy, cognac. I'm going to stop here because brown sugar syrup may be my new favorite sugar sweetener to put in a cocktail.
Nice.
Wow.
Forget simple syrup. I'm using brown sugar syrup from here on out.
Nice.
2 dashes of bitters and a dash of, I use chocolate bitters for that.
Me too.
Yeah, because who has mole bitters? Nobody.
Zocolotl mole bitters.
Right.
I do not.
I think it's a fancy word for chocolate bitters.
I believe so, yes.
That's what it is. You stir them all over a nice couple cubes of ice, and that's it. And you're done. It's really good. Again, the brown sugar syrup, chef's kiss. We're gonna keep that around for future drinks.
All right.
So we had our AFC drink. We now have our NFC mocktail. Our mocktail is strong tea, as always, apple cider, pomegranate juice, same brown sugar syrup, same bitters as before, and a pinch of cinnamon. It helps keep that same kind of fruity, but also smoky flavor to it. It really is pretty good. Create it the same way as you did the cocktail.
It is. This is one of my favorites of the season.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's basically a riff on a classic old fashioned, but a little fancier.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I used bourbon, but double bourbon instead of a rye as well, because a girl still has a budget. So
Terradome, does that interest you at all?
Oh man, it interests my viewers. I like the mocktails. I'll do a little mocktail. Feel fancy. You don't want to be left out. Everybody else drinking, and you're sitting there with a bottle of water, looking like a recovering whomever. But I dig y'all's mocktails, man, and the cocktails. And do you always have a theme with it? And you bring it home, whether it's the team's colors, whether it's something representing the city. Y'all just be doing excellent stuff, man. It's dope.
Thank you. We're trying.
I'm with you on the mocktail girl, but these ladies, they know their stuff here when it comes to this for sure. All right, Laura.
Well, this one's short and sweet. We have 2 whole games, so there's not a whole lot to talk about. And well, we've got starting out with the Patriots and the Broncos. I decided to be the outlier, mostly because I really, 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 really do not want to see the Patriots go to the Super Bowl. But you guys, more realists, you picked the Patriots.
It hurt every part of me to do that. When I sent her my picks, I sent it with vomiting emojis.
Oh, wow.
So did Desi.
The vomit emoji.
Like, no, thank you. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to watch. And, I think we would have all gleefully cheered for the Broncos had there not been that injury. And they've got their backup quarterback. But like I said all along, my picks are never about who I think will win. They're about who I want to win. So I choose on vibes. So that said, the NFC game this week is Rams Seahawks, and you all picked the Seahawks, but I went with my boy Matt Stafford and the Rams. I still would like to see the Lions get to the Super Bowl before Stafford wins 2, but I can't. He's still a great player. I still like him a lot, and I want to root for him. So, but you guys went with Seahawks.
Yeah, I can understand both. AFC is just got to be Pats for me because, hey, the Broncos going in there with Stidham, and the Pats are a really, really good team. I think it's going to be Seattle representing the NFC. Either way, we need the Patriots to beat them because we can't have either LA or Seattle win a Super Bowl on Levi's Stadium field. That's what we're trying to prevent. Come on, AFC. Either, even if Stidham makes it, just don't let Seattle or the Rams win in our stadium. That's a hard life.
If New England comes out of their drought before Buffalo wins a Super Bowl,
their drought.
We're gonna have words.
Yeah, we're in there with you. We've lost 3 in an NFC championship. It used to be, I'm gonna be honest, probably like a lot of 49ers fans, we kind of looked at Buffalo as like, oh well, it's Buffalo. They always lose the Super Bowl, and we always win. Hey, gotta show you something, buddy. Gotta show you a trick. You're only one more loss away, bud.
And here's me crying in Honolulu blue because the Lions, still want to remind people, have never been to a Super Bowl. So our time has to come. It just has to.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad, Terradome, that we're not going to take an L in our home stadium for a Super Bowl. So.
Oh my God. I just took one in Miami. It is hard.
But you couldn't have had a better team to lose it to. I mean, I normally would have gone for Miami in that game, but Like that's
Everybody was
the
going for
story in
Indiana,
itself.
even people who've never watched football before. Oh yeah,
Long
Indiana.
story, right?
There's never been a football player from Indiana.
Exactly. That's why. That's why.
There will be now.
But real talk, that game was better than any of the playoff games that weekend.
I have to agree. Yeah, it was pretty compelling.
The way that coach turned around that team is the only reason why there might still be hope for Buffalo.
Can be done.
Can be done.
Believe. All right. Well, that's it for tonight. Tara Dome, thanks for being our guest. Thanks so much for your DJ skills. And we're going to get everything up on social media. So if you guys enjoyed the cocktail, the mocktail, both of our recipes will be on our social media that you can find at Girlfriends in Football on Instagram. And we have a Facebook page. We also will put up the pictures from Rate the Fit from the whole season, where you can vote on who you think had the best pregame fit of the 2025 season. And then join us again next Wednesday as we break down the AFC NFC game. Terra Dome, you can come on back. We're always happy to have you.
Would love
and we'll keep the laughs going, keep the drinks up, and we'll see you next week, guys. Thanks everyone for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all the things, and we'll look forward to connecting with you next Wednesday. So take care and happy football.
Happy
Go
football.
Bills.